Man, oh man, do I wish the first 15 seconds of this video could just be expletives, because my whole world is being destroyed tonight. Hello, Zeospantera, captain of this ship, and apparently we're flying right into a hurricane. I don't know why we're flying if we're in a ship. The ship's usually in the ocean. Whoever made this box for the cadenzas is a dick. These are the Lecture cadenza. And I'm filming this video on May 6th, right before 10 p.m. And it's going to come out tomorrow because they asked me to put it out on the day it released. And I thought it was the 11th, and I was like, ah, shit. All right, I'll do the review. All right. Yes, it's an expensive IEM. Several gemstones in the title. I actually don't know the exact price because HiFiGo has it listed as $10,000 because they don't want anyone to buy it ahead of it coming out. So I sat down here at approximately 4 p.m. 5.5 hours ago. And I said, I'll do this review real quick. I'll put a nice mouse pad linked in the description, and I'll plug it into my normal, I'll do my normal IEM review. By the way, we're on the main channel. Most of these IEM reviews end up on the In-Ear Fetish channel, but this is such an expensive IEM that Let's Shore and HiFiGo were like, can you please put it on the main channel? So there'll be 2 reviews of this. So if you want double the amount of rant that's about to fucking go down, by the way, I had coffee. I'll explain why in a minute. Go check out the In-Ear Fetish channel with the other review. That's a completely different review. So the cadenza is huge. It's a big deal. It's 12 drivers in each ear. One 10mm dynamic that's made of like liquid magic carbon. Wait, hold on. Let me get the actual. Oh yeah, a 10mm liquid silicone dynamic driver. And 11 high-performance balanced armatures from both Knowles and Cineon. Now, I could scroll down and you could see all these beautiful pictures, and that's what the inside looks like. It kind of looks like a jet engine from a car. And it talks about the wire, and the wire being a 204-strand cable with 6N microcrystalline copper and silver hybrid. We'll get to that, because that's fucking important. You don't understand, all right? You don't understand why it's been 5.5 hours. Because I like Let's Shore. I've got a collab with Let's Shore. You know the Z12s? That's my collab. They love it. I love it. I love them. They love me. And they're like, here, have the cadenza to do a review. So when I put them on, and I was kind of like, this is your flagship? It doesn't seem like you did anything good. It's not that good. It's not that good. So Zeos is like, his brain is like, well, normally, any other random shit, I would just be like, hey, this is bad, do our video and be done. But today felt like work, because it's like, wait a second. Something's wrong. Let's plug this IEM into more than just the standard things. So I started plugging it into like a portable here and there. And like this, you know what this is? It's the SG1, the Death on Ray. And I plug it into this, and I plug it into that. And then I go up to my fucking office, and I'm like, I gotta try something. There's gotta be something that'll make this IEM sound its cost. And I plug it into the WA11, which is the Class A speaker amp that just happens to have a 1/4 inch in the back. If you don't know about that fucking unit, that lives up in my office because that's where I want to have the best things. Also, this gets to like, it's currently at 44.1 degrees Celsius because it has a fucking thermometer in it to tell you how hot it's gonna, when it's gonna burn your house down. I've seen it get to 60 degrees Celsius. It's warm. Point is, I was down here trying this IEM. And they're beautiful IEMs. Look, they even come with a stand. This is a heavy, legit, just made of metal stand with a bulldog wearing sunglasses. I colored in the sunglasses, playing a violin. And it turns out it's the fucking devil. If you're not going to stay for this entire review, these IEMs are absolutely worth their cost. They are some of the best sounding, most descriptive, whitest, just beautiful. It's like whipping audio into my eyes. But I didn't like them. So we got to talk about amplification, because sitting in front of me right now is the most amplifiers of anything I've ever reviewed. Let me see. I tried it on you, 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 and you. All of those amplifiers sound different. This is why I like IEMs that are a single dynamic. My favorite IEMs in the whole wide world are not my Z12 collab. By the way, Z12 collab linked in the description. That's $900. There is a $930 wow, Soft Ears Twilight. It's a single dynamic that's $900 fucking dollars. Kind of like the Illumination. You plug it in. I brought that to CanJam and I was testing equipment with it because it's consistent and it's beautiful. But when you make an IEM this big, it's huge. It looks like the Terminator melted and came into my ears. Don't take that out of context. When you make something that's this huge and you cram a 10 millimeter, and I don't even know how many of each different balanced armature for cine. Oh, actually, I do know. Actually, we'll tell you. Hold on. There's a list. Why does that say different? This says it's 16 ohms impedance. I read somewhere else on here that it's 8 ohms impedance. So make up your goddamn mind. I think here lists it at 8 ohm impedance. So the picture says 16. The technical specs say 8. That's why I went to this. Because if it's 8, that's insane. And I kind of think it's 8 ohms. I think the text might be more accurate than the image. But let me see. What does it say? The actual. So, 5-axis, 11 things. 10 Cineon, just combination. I don't know if it's going to tell me. It doesn't really fucking matter. There could be like 1 mid-range and 10 treble. I know there's a super tweeter and like, the point is, I'm going to put these, have you seen them? I want to put them back in my ears because I like to yell while listening to music. These are legit. They feel like you pulled them out of a treasure chest. Like if we want to talk, let's get off the topic of sound and the annoyance of all the amplifiers for a second and just ruminate with them. Because I don't want it to be like just a rage rant. The cup of coffee, by the way, is because I find it, I don't know, someone in the comments tell me, I find that if I'm listening to something after the other, if I'm doing a bunch of reviews in a day or I'm just listening to my speakers that I know I love, they don't sound good. If I drink coffee, put a little bit of caffeine in the bloodstream, things sort of sound better. And I was desperate to make these things like, maybe it was me. All right. It's not you, ma'am. It's me. This is a perfect wallpaper. And I picked it before I knew the fucking insanity that was going down because Honeycomb was great and loving. And then this bitch shows up and she's biting your fucking head off. Nice things. Presentation. You take it out of the silver box. You take it out into this. Look at this beautiful, like leatherette case, magnet strap. You open it up, the pleated top, it has this Let Shore card in it that had all the paperwork. And you know what was in the paperwork? Look at this. It's like when you're buying a car, you get the cards and you get literally index cards like you would at school for every single Let Shore product, like the stuff they would hand out at shows. Here's the S12s. There's the, where's the, there, look at those, D13s. There's so many Let Shore products I love. By the way, collab probably coming out for that. Just one after the other, after the other, after the other. Great, beautiful. I love this. You want to see some even cooler shit? We're going to stay on the good stuff for a little bit because I need to calm the hell down before I get into the amplification fuckery and then the balanced versus single-ended fuckery and then the wire fuckery. This is going to be a hell of a review. So you take this out. This here, it says Let Shore. That's where the IEMs are sitting. And you got this here, and you don't know what the hell this is for a second. And you go, ooh, all the tips. So I tried all the tips because I usually go right to the Tacony foams, but the Tacony foams weren't working as well. So I'm like, all right, I'll try these. And these are the I linked these, the Symbio, yeah. So those are the ones that are like a silicone with foam. So I'm like, oh, I'll try those. And those are claimed to be vocal ear tips. And indeed, they did bring up like the treble a little bit, but I still didn't like these IEMs when I was trying these. And then I'm like, all right, I'll try the bass ear tips. And they're just basically standard silicone. Then they have these which are balanced, which have a bigger flare. I don't know what the hell that's all about. But anyway, if you take this out, you want to see something cool. You want to see the coolest thing I've ever seen a company do for an accessory. You take that entire thing out. Remember these that we didn't know what they were? If you slide them out of this paper, and then you do this, they've literally given you an adapter to put into the box so that, you know, those useless boxes that you can't do anything with? You now have a 4-panel storage box for IEMs. Brilliant. Nice. Beautiful box. Padded, pleated top. Oh. Back to the shit show. I'm putting these back in my ear. You'll see I had to pick a tip, right? So I did Taconi foams. I did their Symbio tips. I did their bass tips. I did the balance. I put them back. I think I went straight to these. These are the X-Elastic tips. They're the sticky ones, the ones that are sticky. They had to be these tips because I kept having those dislodge and kind of slide out because the units are massive. And the stock cable, we're not using the stock cable for science reasons. I love the stock cable. Interchangeable head with this beautiful, like you unscrew this and it's like, you hear the machining marks when you slide this threaded bit down. Oh, and then you pull this off and it's the weirdest fucking connector because I've got the Chimera cable and y'all know how like interchangeable heads work. So for some reason, they decided to go with 4 pins and then a very small plastic pin that you can't see. So I had to mark it with a marker. And then a red filled hole, and then you line up that, because these can go in every orientation, because it's not like they kick the pins not be straight. It'll fuck up in every orientation. You have to mark the red to the invisible pin, which I had to mark, and then you slide it in like that, which I have the marks there. And you put this back on, and you screw this on, and you're good. And it comes with a 4.4 and a 3.5 and a 2.5. And the wire is shielded with cloth. It's nice. This part of it's beautiful. And then it comes up to a split. It's nice and light to a 2-wire twist. I find that these are a little bit too aggressive. Like this turn here is like, It's like, And I was finding it was driving the IEMs into my ears a little bit. And it was getting a little, like it was causing them to kick out. So that's why X-Elastics is the beginning. But now I found the X-Elastics are the most consistent tip. So this IEM review is a struggle. I love these. I'm going to reiterate. These are fucking fantastic. But my God, to get here. It's like walking up to the bottom of a mountain and be like, this is going to be easy. And all of a sudden you realize, oh shit, is this Everest? Did anyone... Oh, there's dead people just frozen around me. Oh God, this is Everest. So I put the tips on. Let's settle on one tip. This is a review where I had to, or a day where I've had to just settle. Okay, these tips, fuck it, nothing else. And then we'll talk about the wire swapping and why I did that. We're not up to there yet. We're not up there in the story yet. So, oh, Amber Rubarth, by the way. I have been listening to Amber Rubarth Sessions from the 17th Ward for 3.5 hours. Just this album. Because again, we're settling. Usually I listen to an IEM and it's just like, yeah, whatever wants to play. Just play it. Just play whatever. But I need to listen to fucking Sneak over and over and over again. Because every time I listen to it on a different amp, with a different output, on a different cable, it sounds different. I'm finding my center. So I literally pulled the Rebel amp out. I pulled the A90D out. I pulled this off my desk upstairs. I warmed up the TA26, tried it, and then turned that shit off because it was garbage. The good amp. By the way, I have the TA26S there. By the way, and support this channel on Patreon and Subscribestar, because when I lose my fucking mind, I'm going to need to hire a lawyer to defend me for all the people I murdered. Center again. Find the center. The center's in the middle. It's in the life. I don't believe I picked this desk mat with life and death, because that's what it feels like today. Okay, where was I? Okay, so I picked the tips. I got the tips to stay, and I was using the stock cable. Great. So I go upstairs. I plug it into the VMVA1. Holy shit, this sounds like a $2,000 IEM. I love it. I take this down here, and I'm like, all right, I want to tail the Rebel amp too, because maybe this being like a Class A, and this being Class A, maybe they'll jive. And indeed, the Rebel amp sounds fantastic. But the Rebel amp's only 1/4 inch out, and I had the 4.4 end on the wire. So I had to use an adapter. So I put the adapter in here for that. And this is a 1/4 inch as well, so I had an adapter on that. And then I did a thing. I didn't like the way they sounded on the X2O TA22. It's a tube hybrid. It's a powerful tube hybrid. But I didn't like the way it sounded in the 4.4. So I tried something. I said, what if I plugged the 1/4 inch in instead of the 4.4? wholly different IEM. Like dull. This is how big a difference these two things are. Piece of shit, oh my God. Piece of shit, oh my God. Why the fuck would the 1/4" adapter, and I've been using, where's the one I've been using? DD Hi-Fi. DD Hi-Fi is going to make a big appearance in this video. Hi DD Hi-Fi, love you guys. Here's their 1/4" adapter because it goes 1/4" to 4.4, and I'm just able to go like that. So I was able to do this, and then plug this in, and then... Oh, that's not the wire. That's not the wire. This is the wire. We're fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's plug that in. Okay. Novocaine. Unplug. Yeah, it sounds like it's broken. It sounds like it's broken. And I was like, what? It's like solidly, there's no mid-range and treble. It just falls off. And I'm like, well, that shouldn't be the case, like, as extreme as it is. So then I started playing with different amps. All the amps. And some of them 1/4" and 3 and 4.4 matter. Doesn't on the Ehrman. This is only 1/4" out. I don't hear really a big difference on the topping A90D. I hear a little bit of a distance on the Singzer, and this is only balanced. So I'm like, well, wait a second. Wait a second. Stop everything. What if there's something wrong with the wire? Because I was playing with the connector, and what if there's a grounding issue? And that's why when I convert it to use a 1/4", it's a huge difference. It just sounds like shit in the balanced, and it sounds fine in the 1/4". So I'm like, maybe there's a grounding issue. Let's try a different wire. Just to make sure. Cue up the Chimera cable. Linked in the description. This wire is $50. I sell it. I've used it for a ton of IEMs. This wire makes these IEMs, no matter what, sound like ass. And then I had a real panic attack because Zeos doesn't believe in wires. And this is my wire. So why does it sound like shit on everything now? Oh my God, please stop. So let's put that back there where it is. And then I had like, all right, no, what? But back to this wire, sounded fine. Went to my box, got a bunch of other wires. I've got this wire here. This is a Heart Audio cable. That's a 2-pin, and then it has the adapters on the end so you can plug it in. Try this. Sounds good again, but different. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. Stop. Stop what you're doing. Because why should this wire sound different at all from the Chimera cable, which should sound different from the stock cable? It's these IEMs being fucking demanding. So whenever I was reading the description of the cable, here, let's go back to it. La 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 la. La 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 la, yeah. The stock cable uses a 2-4-strand, 6N monocrystalline copper and hybrid and a weave construction. This balanced combination of metal characteristics allows the signal integrity to have extremely low in-cable impedance. These IEMs care what cable you're using. So I went and got the most expensive cable I think I have. I'm sure the stock one, if you went to buy this, would be fucking expensive. But I wanted to try another one, a third, well, actually fourth, 1, 2, 3, a fourth cable. So I got the DD Hi-Fi cable. I think this was like $280. I didn't buy it. DD Hi-Fi just sent it. And I laughed. Expensive cables. Oh, just makes a difference. It makes a fucking difference. The cable makes a fucking difference on this IEM. I think I might prefer this cable over the stock. Oh my God, I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. And then I had an even bigger like thing. So now, okay, cables make a difference, and balance versus unbalanced for some reason, and a lot of these amplifiers makes a difference. And then I was using this, which is like an Amazon 4-pin XLR to 4.4 adapter, and I was using it to pop through it. And I happened to have a double helix one. This came with a double helix cable they gave me. So this is like a built-in, super short, there's really no connectivity. It cuts out all this. Well, guess what? If the IEM cable matters, this matters. So this sounds better. And I had to stop using that. And that's when that's what I put the camera on. So that you could be here on this journey with me. Okay. So now we've established several things. These IEMs are capable of fantastic things. But you need the right amplifier with the right output and the right cable through the right adapter and I don't know, then the right tip. Is that it? As far as music goes, we could finally get off of Amber Rhubarth. We, together, we were on this fucking journey. I'm gonna plug this extremely expensive cable into this probably very extremely expensive thing, and I'm just gonna tell you what amplifiers are good and bad. Because it's gonna be way easier than just like saying, oh yeah, it's good IEM. This IEM doesn't matter right now. If you can afford it, buy it. But here's the thing, you're gonna need to make goddamn sure something on this list that I give like a 9 out of 10 you also own. We'll start with the worst amplifier for it. I'm going to say that it's definitely the TA22 on a balanced output is the worst amplifier for it. Sounds like dick. Here, I'll plug it in with the good adapter and everything. We go to one where she's singing. You know what? We'll just shuffle. We're going to put on shuffle. Oh my God, it's been hours. Violet Evergarden. Doesn't sound high quality, sounds compressed and nasty. Like, it just doesn't. It's not good. Like, it's ringing. There's like a ringing. I'm gonna unplug this, plug it into here. Better. Vocals are good. Still not the best, though. Still not the best. Let's move on. Let's, what's the second best? I'm gonna call the Earman the second best. And the Earman's a $1,500 amplifier. Plug it into that. Put it on high gain because the high gain, the quarter inch of this is much less powerful. Cleaner, way cleaner than this. Now this is a tube hybrid, so it's supposed to do something, but just that's much better. Try the fucking 4.4. Take it off high gain. Treble's a little bit higher, just a little bit higher, just a little bit higher. So there's a difference right there. Now we're dealing with that. Okay, but completely uncolored. These are okay. Let's do the Geshelli Labs. Oh my God, there's so much warmth in the voice. There's so much more warmth in the vocals. You gotta imagine, there's 12. I don't even have fucking fingers. There's 12 goddamn drivers in here, and they're on a 6-way crossover board that's built into these. And depending on the impedance and the output impedance of every single amplifier, they sound completely different. This is a beautifully warm vocal now. Like it's forward, like the vocals are forward and in my face. Oh, by the way, just so you don't think that's like a DAC problem, because this is just an amp, 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 this is just an amp. This is an amp DAC combo, but this is just an amp. And I have a special made just for me. Might be a future collab with Geshelli Labs. I think it's a 6-channel. It's a 12-channel, 6-segment outputting DAC that's back there. That all of these are on the same DAC. Some of them are balanced, some of them are unbalanced, but it's all a Geshelli DAC. So it's not like the DAC's fucking with it. So this is on a Geshelli DAC, this is, and this is not. This is actually on Poseidon, no, Pegasus. But topping LA90, actually that would have been the one of the worst ones. I should have done that one like first. Because this is bad, but this, only being balanced, consistently bad. And I love the LA90, especially for IEMs. So here, wait, we gotta go back to this playing. This is the Korean version of Violet Snow, in case you want to know what I'm listening to, from the Violet Evergarden. Apparently I've got American, Chinese, French, Korean, and original versions of that song. So now we can take this off, plug this back in, then we can go over here and plug this back in. Oh my Lord, the vocals. It's shit you not. It's like the singer is now 1.5 feet closer. Like, oh my God. It's very clear, insanely clear. Holy shit. Oh, the bells are ringing. It lost all, like, subtlety with this amplifier. Its subtlety is gone. It's screaming detail at me, and that could be good. But that's nothing like anything else has been playing so far. Let's undo that. Let's try this. Holy fuck, I had it too loud. Much more delicate, subtle. Further back, I hear some soundstage. There's actual like warmth in the mid range. It's come up. It's just wider. It's so much wider than that. So now let's go. What didn't we hit yet? Oh, we got to come over here. Where the fuck did my adapter go? So the really good shit. Singzer SA1. I'm going to back this song up so I keep it going because I want it to be the same fucking song because that's what this job is like now. Singzer SA1. I turn on the Burson. What model number are you? The Burson. And I had the Geshelli Labs Erish, the #1 Erish. I like this amplifier because it seems to be magic. When Ryan from Modhouse came over and was testing his gold drivered current name is the Tungsten for his new headphones. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, so I'm seeing if I'm going to think of a nickname for it. But if I was going in, what's the... All right, we'll do this one first. Less exaggerated warmth in the mid-range. Vocal is crystal clear. Some of the best vocals I've ever heard in an IEM, which makes it some of the best vocals I've ever heard in an audio device. It's just clear and nice. And this is like a $200 amplifier. I don't even know if they sell this anymore. Now we go to the Singzer. More frontal vocals. The vocals have slid forward. They're in my ear. We're slamming a lot of detail in there. But the imaging is spectacular. Like, the imaging is better on that than this. But the vocals are more relaxed on this. Now we're going to go to the Burson. It's a very consistent song. It's a great song for testing. In fact, I'm going to add it to the sound demo tracks. We've got a little bit more reverb now in the vocals. The vocals sound the best on the Burson. The vocals now sound better on the Burson. We're putting this Korean version right into the new test folder. If you want to get to the sound demos, by the way, they're now private for only patrons and Subscribestar subscribers, and I get to play whatever music I want, which is great, because it means I can actually introduce you to new music. The Burson is winning. The Burson is winning. But the best one that I found, I think... It adds a little bit... This is the A1, which is the VMV-A1, which is a speaker amp. It adds a little bit of... There might... No, it doesn't. This adds warmth to the mid-range and low-end. Keeps the vocals at like a perfect distance. Maybe a hint of coming out of it. Like I might be hearing the DAC limitations. I will admit that I might be hearing the limitations of that Geshelli DAC back there. Because I had this upstairs on its counterpart D1 SE. I might have to give it to the Burson. But you know, but anyway, also here, this thing, because if we're going to go all out, let's go all out in a hell in a handbasket. Hi. I don't have that exact song, but we'll just do some Made in Abyss. Or Metallica, apparently. Or it can break and completely be broken. Great. Critical playback error. Open SSL out of memory. Well, anyway, the Death on Ray Honey H1, which is... I literally pulled it off the desk, because I'll use any excuse to use a Death on Ray Honey. This was just as bad as this, with the balanced versus unbalanced. Again, I forgot to mention it. It's right here. I forgot to mention it. But, yeah, no, I was going back and forth between the two, and I love the Honey H1. It is like... peak portable audio. Same with the Muse M50, which I reviewed. Muse M3, I'm sorry, Muse M3. This thing, I actually haven't tried this with the 3.5. I tried it with the balanced, and I was like, I'm not that impressed. So maybe with the 3-point, you know what? We'll test it right now. If I can get this to fucking work. Throw that away, throw that away. Are you going to load? You going to play a sound? We are. Okay. So let's try 4.4. Good wire. Muse M3, which is, this is the thing I brought to CanJam because it's just... All right, not bad. We're at not bad. I'll borrow this adapter. I think I can have them both plugged in at the same time. All right, Lindsey Sterling is fine. I want singing, though. I really want vocals. Hold on. All right, Billie Eilish. Not audiophile, but damn good. Very bassy, very deep. Then we're going to go to the unbalanced output. Clearer. A little bit clearer in the vocals. The vocals aren't as shouty. What is this IEM? Why is it making me lose my fucking mind? Is this what audiophilia is like? Am I going through like the metamorphosis of like, well, I mean, the cable adapter, you want to make sure your cable adapter is made of pure silver and you can't have any impurities. Oh, God. The quarks. Oh, this sounds great. This thing's fucking sweet. Oh, but this cable adapter, like what if this adapter, I should totally get another cable, like, oh my God. Oh my God, I've ruined my entire life. Please don't, I don't want to die. The cadenza is ruined. This fucking bulldog is literally the devil. All right, I'm taking these out of my ear. We're done listening. I know what to say. These are absolutely some of the best IEMs I've ever heard. Specifically on this amp or that amp with either its stock cable or the DD Hi-Fi cable. And whatever tips you decide on in the end. That's it. They have so much punch in the low end when it calls for it. The vocals are just stellar. Like Abyss wishes they could get vocals out of their I'm looking at the Abyss Diana right there, the TC, and I'm like, you fucking wish. They fucking wish they can get vocals out of it like this. Like there's no soundstage, but then there's just a complete reproduction of the space you're in. The U12Ts were the last 12 fucking driver thing I reviewed, and it was amazing, but I got bored of it. And I also said in that review that it sounded like the 12 of them and only some of them fired up depending on the quality of your music. I've not had that issue. I've obviously kept it to just like a standard amount of songs when you have this much shit going on. By the way, I'm wearing the classic pants. These are classic pants. You can't get these anymore. When you have this much shit going on, you've got to just start reducing your load. Just 8 or 10 songs. That's it. Just one tip. And then you start going to just a few amps. So once I was like, I don't like the way this sounds, I stopped using it. But then I had to add it back in once I started doing wires again. Look at the case for the Let Sure. It looks like a normal case, right? Like one of the ones you get for a cheap IEM. I'm like, well, Zeos, this isn't that special. And then you open it and you're like, is this rimmed in aluminum? And that aluminum is actually magnetic? That's a nice fucking case. It is a nice case. It's one of those cases that doesn't look nice until you open and you realize it's like, it's really, really well made. And it makes that clank sound when you close it. You get a good compliment of tips. I didn't hate the tips that it came with. I specifically liked the Symbio tips here. I just couldn't get them to stay in my ears for as much as I was doing in and outs. And they were exacerbating the treble then. Now it might be fine. I can put them back in my ears again with different tips, because now that I know what I was like, literally when it is off its game, when these are off their game, is just here's a pile of everything here. When these are off their game, with the amplifier and the impedance and the wire or whatever you got going on, man, are they just not appealing at all. And I don't know how I started this review process with the 1, 2, 3 is usually my like 3 and then 4 compliment. This was the exceptional standout. This sounded different and bad. And because I went to the 1/4 inch and it sounded in 15, 25, 100% better, 100% better probably. From like, I wouldn't even consider owning these to, that sounds pretty good. And then from that being like half as good as it could sound on some of these other pieces of equipment. This IEM, man, this IEM, it needs to kill you. It's going to show you everything wrong with your, it's going to make you spend money. It's already made you spend money on it. I think it's going to be $2,300, $2,500, under $3,000. I promise you from the bottom of my heart, I remember being told it was going to be under $3,000. I just can't find the exact price. But my God, once you get it honed in and working and the right amplifier, like the A90D will run it nice and clean. More than the other one here, and more than that, and more than that, I'll take the A90D. At least that's a standard. The Geshelli Lab stuff. This is good. Not as good as the Erish, but it's good. And the new Erish will probably be even better. SA6, SA1. It's fine. Singstar SA1, I know a lot of you have that on your desks. If you're considering a $3,000 or $2,200 IEM, you could absolutely fine on that. It's better on the Burson, but just like a modicum, like a small little baby bit better. Just the placement of the vocals changes. That's the hardest part. This is not just like a sound quality change. This is a where the fuck is sound coming from change. And then the fact that the wire just exacerbates some issues. The fact that you can't even use, I'd be afraid to try to use, now I don't know what to do now. Because now every IM I do, I'm going to be like, well, I should probably put them on a $300 cable. Meanwhile, it's the fucking Truthier Hala, which is $19. Let's see what a $300 cable will do for that. No, I can't get that into my soul. My soul might have to be focused. This is a very, very long review. I should have probably warned you at the beginning this is going to be a giant rant. I'm going to film another review with another wallpaper and put it on the In-Ear Fetish channel, which is linked to the description. And that review, I try to keep those around 10 minutes. So I'm going to mention that the amplifiers do things, and I'm just going to talk about the sound. That's what the In-Ear Fetish channel is for. This channel, the main channel, the rant channel, fuck. All right? Just pure, unadulterated F-U-C-K. The cadenzas are fantastic. I gotta keep saying it because I don't know. I think you're gonna all think that I'm like not recommending them. I am 100% recommending them. The problem is I can't just blindly recommend them because if you're a person who can afford them and you only have like one amplifier and it just happens to be like, I don't know, a tube or something, you're gonna have a bad time. Like legitimately. This is, remember when they had the thing with the GL2000s and everyone was like, this pair sounds like shit and this pair sounds great. That was quality control, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know how many amplifiers I plugged all those headphones into. I'm going to have a stack of like 9 or 10 amplifiers, and every single product I review from now on is going to have to go, no, yes, no, yes, yes, no, and I'm going to have to make a list. This makes my job much harder. This thing has ruined my life. But my God, it fucking sounds good. Now that I know that this is the answer is literally just going not balanced. So, I mean, you could, obviously I don't need, oh, you know what? I could fix that without having the adapter because I could just change this back to the stock cable and then change the stock cable's tip to be a 3.5 and that'll solve a lot of my problems. But then I can't use like the Erish because that has to be balanced. And yeah, so my advice to you, since it seems to be a pretty consistent story, when you get this IEM, which I know all of you are running to buy right now, don't use the 4.4. Take this off. Take this off until you want to feel experimental. Just get your case, pop it open, get your 3.5. It's actually out already. I got a 3.5 mounted here to a 1/4-inch adapter. Hopefully the DD Hi-Fi adapter is quality. It should be. I think it costs like $48 or something stupid. Do that, slide this up, and live happily ever after with your 1/4-inch 3.5 only IEM cable, which I just want to straighten this out. I just want, this is kind of rough. Like, I don't know, something around this makes it, no, they're about the same. I don't know what it is. It's just that kink maybe. Yeah, they're about the same too. I don't know. They're big IEMs. I think they're just big IEMs, and I had to swap tips until it wasn't falling out of my head. So yeah, no, that's this review. Once again, thank you for staying till the very end, for those crazy people who stayed till the very end. Although I think I'm the only crazy person here, right? I have to encode this video tonight, rewatch it, do timestamps. Encode this video tonight, upload it, watch it, do timestamps. Make sure fucking YouTube converts it from 360p. If it's 360p tomorrow morning, it'll come out on the 8th and not the 7th. But now I also got to stop and do another review for the Inner Fetish channel, which will be much shorter. If that one is high def, because I have a problem with YouTube, sometimes my videos stick at 360p for some reason. I don't fucking know why. If well, actually, when I do the other video, I'll put it back to stock cable. But yeah, no, anyway, I'm going. Patreon, subscribe star, see reviews early, participate in yard sales, and get to the sound demos. All sound demos that I've ever done are available, and all new sound demos with video and everything are available to patrons and subscribe star subscribers. I get to use any tracks I want, any wallpapers I want. There's usually titties out because freedom. If you want to pay $10 a month, which is literally the cost of like 15 ears of corn. Your corn's pretty cheap, actually. 2 gallons of milk, 40 eggs. 40 eggs? Is 40 eggs $10? No, the eggs are expensive. Like 1 carton of eggs. For that price, you can get into the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat where you could message me, you could at Zeospantera, and I will answer your questions either with voice or video or chat. And there's another 180 people in there who all are willing to help you. They're all super fucking nice. And all those people, everyone who's ever been in that chat ever gets into the lifetime swap meet channel where they can buy, sell, and trade gear with one another. Like a big old orgy of audio stuff. And there's been a lot of little separatist groups that broke off, tube chats and tube rolling chats, and then people who just own. There was one chat, I forget who started it. There was people who just own the Hollow May. And I'm like, but I told you not to buy the Hollow May. Why are you not listening to me? Anyway, and the wallpaper is available in the Wallpaper Horde, which is available down below. You get it, you install Resilio Sync, and it syncs every wallpaper I've ever done ever to your computer as like 2.1 gigabytes of wallpapers. Because again, YouTube is just like, hey, is that pornography? We're going to ban your channel. And I'm like, I linked in an imager, and it's like, no. So I can have it there, but I can't have it linked, because then it's just like a bot. It's like, I see legs. You're going to jail. I'm done. Thank you, Hi-Fi Go, for trusting me with this. And Let's Shore, I believe in you. I knew that if I dug deep enough, I could find the magic inside the cadenza. Which, by the way, you know what a cadenza is? It's an arch you walk through as a singer, and then you give, like, your vocal performance. It's got, like, the best acoustics. So I get it. I studied architecture, and I'm like, I know what a cadenza is. Why is this called that? And that's why it's called that. So yeah, I'm going to pretend I'm going to take a break and actually just put the camera back on and do a shorter 10-minute review of this. So see you all on the Inner Fetish channel. At 50,000 subscribers on that channel, I live stream a pizza party on there. So we're almost at 10. That's pizza. I could taste the pizza already. Can you taste it? I could taste it.